What's up, everybody? Back with more videos before I go to sleep because it is 6 in the morning and I got 2 hours of sleep before the live stream. They posted more info about the character enhancement system, so we are going to make a video on it because I feel like that is the most important thing coming in this update. Fate's cool and all. You still have to summon. Well, kind of. Archer's free. Lycon's kind of free, depending on how much you summon, right? But this is probably, I assume, the most hype thing coming because it's something that we will probably get more of in the future and can really make or break people's accounts, slash summons, slash change power creep for the better. Anyway, let's go over it. And if you're wondering why we still have this thing going in the background, if you can even hear it, I'm too lazy to check because I'm so tired. I just want to get these videos out and go to bed. It's because it's a bop, and I am tired of listening to some other stuff, and I still need to go through and listen to the Star Wars stuff because I like having the game open in the background because one, it's easy music, and two, it's easy to grab something for it and pop it open on the screen when I'm recording. So yeah, I just play stuff from Star Wars. Anyway, let's jump into it. So I didn't even look at this myself yet. Trailblazer is level 4. You will not get the buffs unless you're 4. Okay, 3.4. There's trials for the character to get used to them. Okay, it'll probably have like useful teams too. No flare system update after version 3.4 update. So Blade, Kafka, and Jingliu will receive ability adjustments and improvements and character details and character enhancement button. Click to view them. Yeah, I'm leaning forward on the screen. That's a lot. Oh my god, they actually have like an actual description. It's not like the Hoyoverse text. Okay. Um, okay, it's highlighted in yellow for you. I'm leaning forward on my monitor. Hella. It says designate enemy or any adjacent targets are currently affected by dot. And then 50% of the original damage. Okay, so having them highlighted the new stuff in yellow or orange. Sorry, I guess it's more orange. Is insanely like, oh my, like, shout out to Hoyoverse. When they cook, they do cook. That is actually such a nice update. I do wish that they showed more in the live stream, but time restraints, you know, because this is really nice. This is so good for being able to tell what actually got buffed on your character, right? Preview. Okay, they are gonna talk about it. So Serval's ult is now AoE, right? The skill prioritizes the weakness of the first person in your party. At the start of battle, Serval immediately regenerates 20 energy. Serval regenerates 5 energy at the start of her turn. I see. I don't have the rest of their kits up to compare, which is unfortunate. I wish they had it in like yellow for this, and it looks like other adjustments are going to be on. I see. Eidolon 2 for talents. Okay, so they're buffing traces, character skills, and Eidolons. They're not going to tell us what they are yet, unfortunately. So I guess I won't get too, you know, upset about not remembering off the top of my head and check. I'm not going to bother checking what is getting buffed here. This will kind of just be a video on what to expect or like a little sneak peek at it, because if they're not going to show us what like E2, E4, and like all the other stuff does, it kind of doesn't really matter what we go over here, I guess, unfortunately, for this video. So I'll have a full video when they fully post the details, probably closer to 3.4's actual release, just because like they could have a buff on Blade that's like insanely like mid or whatever, like who cares, and then they have like part of his talent or a trace, whatever, that completely makes this like most busted thing on the planet, and we never know because they didn't tell us for some reason. Okay, so Blade scales off of max HP now. W. Talent gives 15 energy. After using skill, Edge Telescape has a chance of getting attacked, and then they change one of his traces and his E1. Okay, I think E2 was the crit rate one, so wah, wah on that one for not getting buffed, but okay. Kafka. Skill can cause dots on all attacking targets to immediately produce 1 instance of damage. That trigger on all attacking targets. Cool. Follow-up attack trigger count increases, and the follow-up attack can cause dots on enemies to immediately produce 1 instance. Any teammate's attack can trigger her follow-up attack. This is absolutely massive. Kafka regenerates follow-up attacks at the end of her turn and after using ultimate, which is even bigger. This is a massive buff. Can increase the ally's attack. No need to unlock traces to set all dot debuffs. Original trace effect adjusts to when effective rate to all targets is greater than or equal to 75%. Increase target's attack by 100%. And then they changed her E1 and E2, which is crazy because I have an E2 Kafka. Just saying. I wish I knew what the buffs were, but they don't tell us. Haha, very funny. Then we have Jingliu. Jingliu is HP scaling as well, W. When a team's HP is reduced, crit rate increases and she gains energy. Each time an allied target HP decreases, Jingliu gains 1 stack of Moonlight. Increases units crit damage up to 5 times. After allied characters' HP decreases a certain number of times, she'll gain 1 stack. That is insanely busted with Hyacinth's Light Cone. Too bad your ass can't get it no more. The banner already left. You know, I'm just saying, however, this is why people look at leaks, you know, like this stuff right here. Because if you're a massive Jingliu fan and you find out that you could have went for Hyacinth's Light Cone and would have been busted as hell on your character, and you find out after her banner leaves, I have to wait months for her to rerun, by the way, months. I'd be pissed, right? I'm just saying, Hoyoverse does not make it easy for people. Like, you know, that's just really the argument of leaks. You know, people don't like leaks, but sometimes it was stuff like this. You know, I don't blame people for looking at them. You know, then after entering special transformation state, max energy stack limit increases additionally gains 1 stack. This means that she'll kind of have like, I believe it's her E6 who had an extra stack. So I'm probably, I mean, you said on there E6 is changing, probably to increase it yet again. So she'll have what, 4, which is crazy. When having 2 stacks of energy, Jingliu enters special transmigration, gains 1 extra one. Maximum stats can increase to 4. Okay, wait, then you'd have 5, right? Am I tripping? I haven't used Jingliu that long. Am I forgetting? When obtaining his energy at max stats, her next attack ignores 25% of the target's defense. And then other adjustments to, wow, E1, 4, and 6. I actually have E1, so I'll be excited to see what E1 brings us. And that is it. Okay. So, I think everyone has a W buff, right? Because Silverwolf's ult is AoE, which it actually does decent damage as well. No RNG on the weakness implant. It makes getting her ult faster, so she's overall just a big W. Blade's getting HP scaling, follow-up attack giving energy, more taunt, so he gets hit more. Overall, big W for Blade. Kafka's getting stuff for her dot, increasing attack, more not consistency, but more frequency for all of her stuff. It's huge. And then Jingliu getting also HP scaling, which is massive, getting more time in her ult state because you have an extra attack, plus being able to get it through other means, plus also giving herself defense ignore and like crit damage and whatnot. Very, very good buffs from the look of it. We'll have to see what they buffed dupe-wise and like other stuff like traces and whatnot, because we can't see that until they officially show us to it, right? So overall, I think it's overall a pretty good W for all these characters. I think from just how it sounds, I want to say Silverwolf got the biggest W, because at the end of the day, Blade and Jingliu just got damage increases, right? Obviously, it does change how they work slightly, right? Jingliu has, you know, other ways of getting her ult stuff, or not her ult stuff, sorry, her transmigration stuff. Blade also has more taunt value, but overall, they're just getting damage, so they'll get power crept easier, right? Just because it's like, oh, they just have to get out damage and they're done. Kafka getting some supportive stuff is really good for her. We'll have to see how Dot ages. If the next Dot unit is like a mega Dot support and just makes it to where Kafka's relevant, which she won't because we have no other Dot characters, so you just run them together. I can see Kafka getting aged out, unfortunately. And then Silverwolf's just a really good debuffer, so pretty much we just have to wait until we get another really good debuffer. But you could probably just make her a DPS depending on how frequently you can get her ult and how hard you can actually get to hit. I don't have a DPS Silverwolf, so I never got to experience that, but I definitely saw some decent numbers back in the day, so we'll have to see if they did anything with that. But yeah, overall, I'd say Silverwolf, Kafka, W, they got the best ones. And then Blade and Jingliu got really good ones as well, but since it's mostly just DPS stuff, I can see it being, you know, aged out. But we'll have to see. This could be completely changed when we get the full info, like what do these do? Did Jingliu get the most down here? That's 5, 2, 2, 5. Okay, so yeah, Silverwolf and Jingliu got the most like hidden stuff from us, so we'll have to see what that is. So if having more hidden stuff is crazy because she already got some pretty good stuff. But yeah, I guess I'll just wrap it up there and get some sleep. Let me know what you guys think of the character buffs at the moment. Do you think we should have had a bit more? Are excited to see what the information that they withheld from us is. Don't know why they did that, but hey, it's what it is. Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.